technology work. Have you heard the tale of the king who's wounded by some betrayal? How wasting away in the darkness he guards the grail, while everything good seems to fade, despite all the plans that he made. But he won't let it go or forgive the one awful thing that he most needs to live. Oh, he's empty and cold, but at least he's got the cup. And his Fisher King wound is the thing he won't give up. Well, I've heard it said so much it sounds cliche, but you can't know true love until you have thrown it away. Well, now that I've broken your heart, now that I've torn us apart, do I want you back 'cause you're gone? Do I want you back 'cause you're moving on? Oh, I thought we were through, but now I feel it too. How my Fisher King wound was the one I gave to you. If you know that inside me there's doubt and fear and pain, then I'm guessing for you it's probably the same. But I know we both were betrayed the moment I first felt afraid. Something so strong can't be true, so to hide from myself and from you, I withdrew. Now my Fisher King wounds, the kind I can't conceal, 'cause I feel it cut deeper the more that your heart heals. Thought we were through, but now I feel it too. How my Fisher King wound was the one I gave to you. What is up, everyone? Man, sometimes when you just don't sing and then you just have your lunch break and you start singing, you go like, ooh, and it's not there. It's just, ooh. It'll come back throughout this lunch hour. Anyways, if you're watching, thanks for watching. Say hey. I'm doing something a little different today where I wanted to play all the songs from side A of my album, The Great Make Believer, which is here. And if you know the album, you know that that song is not on side A, but it was the first song I wrote for the whole album, and I wanted to at least put it in there to kind of start this off with because, greetings from frigid Germany. Greetings from no longer frigid Maine. It's actually, well, it's raining, but it's not frigid. It's actually pretty warm these days. But hello to Germany. Yeah, so if you know the album, The Great Make Believer, that song is not on side A, but I wanted to play it first because it was the first song I wrote for the record. And in a lot of ways, I almost feel like it's the first song I ever really wrote, which is like literally not true. I'd written plenty of songs and put out plenty of records before this one. But something was very different about that song for me. Something felt truer about it and more like durable. I guess it was a song I wrote, and I thought I could imagine myself playing this in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years and not being ashamed of it, or to the same degree that songwriters can quickly get ashamed of their songs. I thought that one would have a little more lasting power for me, and now it's years later, and I'm still playing it. So the other thing that I felt like was really new about that particular song, Fisher King, for me was that it was the first time I ever let the lyrics kind of just do all the work. And up until that point, my production and my songwriting was very hyperactive and like lots of strings and horns and synths and guitars and lots of counter melodies and stuff going on. And something needed to be different for that song, and I said, let's just leave this song alone and let the lyrics do the work. And honestly, like that, the fact that I thought it worked changed everything about my songwriting. I think since then I've been a lot more comfortable. This probably sounds terrible, but a lot more comfortable letting songs be boring. And I don't mean boring, but like just that constant hooks and bells and whistles, like if you take that out, you can leave room for words, which have increasingly become important to me in a strange era where words are often inaccurate. It seems like we need to pay more attention to what words can do. So anyways, so that was Fisher King. Now I'll get into the actual album from track 1. And I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do the first 5 songs from The Great Make Believer, and I'll do a few covers too that relate to the writing of this album. So the first song on the record is called Eden, and it's a song I wrote when I was thinking about Adam and Eve and how, like in terms of like mythological history, it was the first catch-22 because they didn't have any choice. God was like, don't do this thing, don't eat this fruit. And it's not the fruit of evil, it's the fruit of the knowledge of the difference between good and evil. So until they actually go and eat the friggin' thing, they can't possibly know they're doing anything wrong by disobeying him. So alas, they go and eat it. They get kicked out of the garden. Hey Jeff, how are you? I'm playing the first 5 songs from my album, The Great Make Believer, today, which is on its way to you, actually. Oh, speaking of that, I should say, if anyone's watching that doesn't have the record yet, go ahead and get a free copy of it. You just have to help me with the shipping and handling cost, and I will sign it and mail it to you. So go to go.chrisrowley.com, go.chrisrowley.com, and I'll send you a copy. So this is a song called Eden, and sort of like Fisher King, it's a very naked kind of song and simple, and I thought it was like a little, I don't know, college rocky in a way that I was at first sort of embarrassed of. And then the producer of the record, Rob, was like, no, man, like, leave it alone. Don't add a bunch of shit to it. Keep it how it is and put it first on the record because it's exposed and naked. And that's what this whole record is about. So leave it alone, damn it. So I did. And it's the first song on the record. Can imagine a boy who imagines a girl. They both know how to perfectly love in their imaginary world. Then imagine a man and pretend that he's me. Oh, I know that there's no perfect love and that nothing is meant to be. Well, I watched you walk through the gates like it's fate. Not a minute too soon or a minute too late. Expelled for our sins, so our love can begin. And there's so many things I've been wanting to say to the ones that we both left behind in the garden, the ones God sent away, but they can't understand. They won't forgive or agree how we both chose in our limited time to believe in an improbability. I know that nothing that lasts can be great without a couple of flaws and a few bad mistakes, and I'd make them again. So our love can begin. Do 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 do. This imaginary world were like heaven on earth, I think that people would be just as bad to each other, 'cause we wouldn't know what it's worth if it wasn't so fiercely fought, if it wasn't so wickedly won. I think that we would forget all the prices we paid and why the battle had even begun. I know that this love has been worth the wait. We're both a little bit crooked and a little bit straight, but I'm willing to bend in the end so our love can begin. Now that we've both been set free to create some kind of imperfect paradise with this clean slate, then please come take my hand. My love, let's begin. Do 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 Rock Leap. Yeah, so let's see. So that was Eden, the first song on the record. I guess I should tell you a little bit, just real quick, about how we made this album. It was a completely different recording process for me, where normally I'd either started just by myself in the studio or with a drummer and a bassist, and then kind of done a lot of the rest of the work myself in terms of playing a bunch of instruments and arranging things. And in this time around, I wanted something completely different. I sort of knew all my own tricks at that point. Hey, Stuart, how are you? Hello to the UK. Dinner songs for you. I'm talking about my album, The Great Make Believer, today. So yeah, I'd sort of gotten tired of my own tricks in a way, and I wanted to make a record with just 5 people in a room, basically coming up with the stuff on the spot, arranging it together, letting everyone's kind of voice be heard in this conversation, and have the music have the album be kind of the record of that conversation as it's happening, as opposed to playing the songs to death and getting sick of them and then trying to, recapture something in the studio. So we went about it the other way for this record, and we went out to my friend Nick Pete's beach house on the Oregon coast for 3 or 4 days, which was amazing. And my friend Rob's troupe came out and brought a bunch of gear and produced the record, and it was a lot of fun. Like the content was pretty heavy, but the act of making it was really, really, really special and fun. Let me switch my camera thing here. Wrong one. Let's see. So this is a song called Anonymous, which sorry, I'm wrestling with my technology here. So this song Anonymous is basically my ex used to say that her greatest wish in life was just to always be anonymous, and she'd spent some time in Berlin for I think like 6 months, and she had this day where she was just like out by herself and answering to no one. And at the end of the day, she was in the bath, and she hey everyone down there. She was in the bath, and she realized that she owed nothing to anyone, and said, this is the peak. I've achieved it. I'm anonymous. So that's kind of what led to this song. Cried it out, your better nature. I couldn't outright break your heart. Or forsake you, so I waited till you fell apart. Now that I'm on your side again, do you think we can still be friends? Now that we've made amends, do you remember when you were mine? Maybe love doesn't have to end sometimes. I wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us, and goodbye and hello is synonymous. Well, I wanna go there, I wanna go there. Cried it out, your better nature. I couldn't outright break your heart. Couldn't leave you or forsake you, so I waited till you fell apart. But now that I'm on your side again, do you think we can still be friends? Now that we've made amends, do you remember when you were mine? Baby, love doesn't have to end sometimes. I wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us, and goodbye and hello is synonymous. But I wanna go there, I wanna go there. wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us. Sad goodbye and hello, synonymous. Where I wanna go there, I wanna go there. I wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us. Sad goodbye and hello, synonymous. Where I wanna go there, I wanna go there. I wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us. Sad goodbye and hello, synonymous. Where I wanna go there, I wanna go there. My sweet Lord, oh my Lord, my sweet Lord, oh my Lord. Really wanna see you, really wanna be with you, really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, oh my Lord. My sweet Lord, oh my Lord. I really wanna know you, really wanna go with you, really wanna show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord, oh my Lord, my sweet Lord, oh my Lord. All right, I think I lost my little comment box here. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, there you are. Okay. So, yeah, so that was my song Anonymous, and then obviously the George Harrison song. What's that song called? My Sweet Lord, I think. That I pretty much ripped off for Anonymous. And speaking of ripping off other artists, I have a song on the album called 1973, which is sort of my combination of a Paul Simon song, or my take on a Paul Simon song. There's a song on Graceland where he's basically saying, like, hey, man, to, like, this kid, I'm your dad, but I really couldn't be your dad because that would have ruined my life. And then there's a great Harry Nilsson song, which, you know what, let me pull this up real quick. I added this. I have a lyrics in the limelight playlist on Spotify. That's basically a bunch of songs I really love and think have great lyrics. So if you don't know this song, you should check it out. 1941 by Nelson. And if you go to that link, bit.ly/lyrics limelight, that'll take you to the playlist. I put that song right at the top. So this is another kind of song along the same lines as the Paul Simon one lyrically. I sort of I'm gonna play the Nelson song real quick, but I and then sort of combine them for my song 1973, which I'll play after this one. Well, in 1941, a happy father had a son. But by 1944, the father walked right out the door. And in 45, the mom and son were still alive. Well, who could tell in 46 if the two were to survive? Well, the years were passing quickly, but not fast enough for him. So he closed his eyes till 55, then he opened them up again. And he looked around, he saw a clown, and the clown seemed very gay. And he said I'd like to join that circus clown and run away. Lo-do-do-do-ra-dee-dee, lo-do-dum-ba-ba-ba-ba-bye. Lo-do-do-do-ra-dee-dee, lo-do-dum-ba-ba-ba-bye. Ba-dum-ba-ba-ba-bum, bee-ba-ba-bum-ba-ba-ba-bum. Well, he followed every railroad track, every highway sign, and he had a girl in each new town and the towns he'd left behind. And the open road was the only road he knew, but the color of his dreams was slowly turning into blue. Then he met a girl, the kind of girl he'd wanted all his life. She was soft and kind and good to him, so he took her for his wife. And they got a house not far from town, and in a little while the girl had seen the doctor. She came home with a smile. Now in 1961 a happy father had a son, but by 1964 the father walked right out the door. And in 65 the mom and son were still around. But what will happen to that boy if the circus comes to town? Ba 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 ba, ya ba 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 ba. I knew your mother, she knew me too. We danced in a Brooklyn bar back in 1972. And when the DJ played Bellamy, I took her home and woke up alone, and you were born in 73. But if you were me, then you would see why I just had to let things be. Couldn't go on singing a song knowing the words were wrong. I knew your mother, she knew me too. Not very well, as you can probably tell, but that's the tale of how we made you. Ba 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 da da, ba ba da da, ba 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 da da, ba 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 da da, ba ba da da, ba 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 da da. But if you were me, then you would see why I just had to let things be. Couldn't go on singing a song knowing the words were wrong. I knew your mother, she knew me too. Not very well, as you can probably tell, but that's the tale of how we made you. We danced in a Brooklyn bar back in 1972. Ba 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 da da, ba ba da da, ba 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 da da, ba 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 da da, ba ba da da, ba 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 da da, ba 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 da da, ba ba da da, ba 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 da da, ba 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 da da, ba ba da da. That's supposed to be in tune. But this is live streaming. where anything can happen. Anything could happen. Like I could take off my hat and pat my forehead, pat away the sweat on my forehead. That's something that can happen in live streaming. Let me tune my guitar real quick. So, let's see, that was 1973, and I did the Harry Nilsson song 1941. So the place where we went to record this album is, as I said, is on the Oregon coast. It was at my friend Nick Pete's house, which is literally right on the beach. It's a beautiful spot, and there's all this. The room we recorded in had these large bay windows that overlooked this sort of grassy area, and then right past the grass were these sandbanks, and then past the sandbanks were the ocean. Beautiful spot. But right outside the window, kind of like in his backyard, is this old historic site. It's I don't know if it's a state monument or a state park or whatever. It's it's probably like 16 feet by 10 feet or so. It's tiny, but it's like a protected historic area. And what it is, it's called the Lewiston Salt Works, where on Lewis and Clark's journey, they got all the way out to Oregon, and then they got to the coast. And after all that time, they needed to preserve some food to get home, and so they took ocean water, and they had a process for boiling the ocean water. I actually don't know how it works, but they get the salt out of the ocean water and cure their various catches to have food on the way home, as I said. And so this spot that Lewis and Clark some 200 something years ago had been sitting at, presumably like literally right outside this window where we were recording the album. Something seemed like appropriate about that when we recorded this next song called Evangeline, because thinking about them, they were sort of on this halfway point of their journey in this kind of transition period, and then right where they were is this ocean where the tides are coming in and out, and there's a sort of ebb and flow, and that was perfectly like the way I want to describe how I wanted the drums to sound on this next song, where I'll play you a snippet of it here. So there's this, that's the main part, and there's two ways of counting it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So it could be like a 6/8 thing. If anyone is a musician that's watching, you probably know what I'm talking about. So it could be that kind of waltzy thing, or it could be a counting of 4, like a typical kind of song against that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see now. 1, 2, 2. Anyways, so I wanted the drummer to kind of do both of those, but not at the same time, but kind of what's the word? Transition, flow between them without it being like this hard, okay, I'm in 4, now I'm playing this other beat. And he did it all. The guy's name's Anders Bergstrom. He found such a cool way of switching between the two, as if it was like a tide was coming in and then just sort of taking the old thing out as the new one was coming in. All that to say, I hope you listen to this record, and there's a bunch of great friends of mine who put awesome parts on it besides what I'm just playing here. Anders Bergstrom was the drummer. Arthur Parker was the bass player. Bob Dunham was the guitar player. Paul Brainerd played pedal steel, and I sang and played guitar. And then Rob Stroop, who produced the record and was, for the most part sitting behind the desk recording things, and his now wife, Naomi Hooley, she was out there not really intending to record with us, but just to hang out and have fun, and she was great. She helped make us breakfast in the morning so we could just sort of plow through the recording. So because the two of them were sort of listening to all this, they started singing harmonies as we were recording. So basically now we just had our background singers. So I think the only real things that got overdubbed for the most part is their harmonies. Almost everything else was recorded live, all of us in the room together. So, okay, let me get to this song already. walls. I'm counting sheep, counting on the pills to get me back to sleep. 'Cause the tired voice is on repeat. Hear it speak the vows I spoke but couldn't keep. On and on with what remains of bitter ends, but all the same Evangeline. Could you forgive a man who finally broke you into places where you always seem to bend? While I'm still awake on my side of the silence we both must endure. And you're only there when I dream, but I can't fall asleep anymore. So I leave the TV on at night. It's nice to hear the voices, and I like the light. Oh, come what may, come what might, from all that might have been and what I can't rewrite. On and on with what remains of bitter ends, but all the same Evangeline. Always wish the best for you. I hope you know, I hope that every wish you make comes true. While I'm still awake on my side of the silence we both must endure. And you're only there when I dream, but I can't fall asleep anymore. Can't sleep at all anymore. The water's deep, but I'm stuck on the shore. Sometimes all my best intentions leave me at my worst. I went and wished upon a star that's falling in reverse. On and on with what remains of bitter ends, but all the same Evangeline. Could you forgive a man who finally broke you in the places where you always seem to bend? While I'm still awake on my side of the silence we both must endure. And you're only there when I dream, but I can't fall asleep anymore. While I'm still awake on my side of the silence we both must endure. And you're only there when I dream, but I can't fall asleep anymore. Hey, if you're watching, say hey. Let me know. And again, I'm making my way through the first side of The Great Make Believer. And if you don't have a copy of that record, please go to go.chrisrowley.com and help me with the shipping and handling, and I will send one to you. So, let's see. I said that Paul Simon kind of was haunting this album a little bit. In the 1973 song, in a way less serious way, because it's about a deadbeat dad, and my dad was great. So that song was not at all that personal. But a lot of the songs on this album, although they're not like exactly autobiographical, they're certainly closer to some personal pain I was going through at the time, and a lot of it having to do with the ending of one relationship and the beginning of another, and some of that ebb and flow overlap and fallout and pain and collateral damage caused by all of that, and losing some people that are dear to me because of my own actions, and the strangeness of having to go through something like that in some ways ends well, like I'm with my wife now, and but strange beginnings and certainly strange middle, and a lot of regret over how it all happened. I'm kind of rambling here because it's not entirely my story to tell, but basically a lot of the songs on this record are about the pain I experienced of having caused other people pain, and then not exactly being able to begin healing until you have some indication that those people are starting to heal. And certainly that's that Jeff, yes, you ordered your free album. It's on its way to you, and I thank you for doing that. I got a new haircut, and I'm realizing as I look at my monitor here, it's in that awkward, like, brand new phase where it needs to grow out a little, and it just looks a little strange. So even though I'm sweating, I'm going to be vain and put this back on. So anyways, what's I going? That's what a lot of these songs are about. And Paul Simon has I feel like he had that breakup record, Hearts and Bones, which is a killer album. Like the production is fairly dated at this point. It's very 80s, but like if you can listen past some of that, the songs I feel like it's his best record in terms of songwriting. And that was kind of like this, I think it was like the divorce record, like the I'm going through this crap now. And then Graceland came out a little bit later. And then I thought that one had such an interesting way of being like post-divorce, still not knowing what to do phase. And so anyway, some of that sentiment I think was on The Great Make Believer as well. So I'm going to play a Paul Simon song that kind of gets at that. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown, rearranging my position on this friend of mine who had a little bit of a breakdown. I said, hey, breakdowns come and breakdowns go, and so what are you gonna do about it? That's what I'd like to know. You don't feel you could love me, but I feel you could. It was in the early morning hours when I fell into this phone call, believing I had supernatural powers. I slammed into a brick wall. I said, hey, is this my problem? Is this my fault? That's where it's gonna be. I'm gonna call the whole thing to a halt. You don't feel you could love me, but I feel you could. You don't feel you could love me, but I feel you could. Ooh. I was walking down this street when I thought I heard this voice say, ain't we walking down the same street together on the very same day? I said, hey, senorita, that's astute. I said, why don't we get together and call ourselves an institute? Well, you don't feel you could love me, but I feel you could. You don't feel you could love me, but I feel you could. Ooh. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. I feel you could love me, but I feel you. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. I feel you could love me, but I feel you. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. You could love me, but I feel you. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. Feel you could love me, but I feel you. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. Feel you could love me, but I feel you. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading downtown. Feel you could love me, but I feel you. I was having this discussion in a taxi heading down. You don't feel you could love me, but I feel you. All right. So if you're still watching, thanks so much. I got to do 2 more songs here. One of mine, which is the last song on side A of my album, The Great Make Believer, and then a cover that kind of was on my mind when I wrote the other one. So let me tune up real quick, and then I'll see if So let's see. I'm going to try and do one of my 60-second songs. Oh, shit. I got to turn this off. Technology. No, there we go. Okay, so if you're familiar with this whole thing, I try to explain one of my songs in less than 60 seconds. Let's see if I can do it. Ready? Here's the clock starter. So I had way too much to drink one night, and I was down at a local bar at the end of my street where my friend Rob Stroop's band, The Blame, was playing. They had like a weekly or a monthly gig there or something. And they had this song called Glass Ceilings that had a really good like dance beat. So like everyone in the bar gets up and dances, and I was getting up and dancing. And as soon as I stood up, I was like, oh, crap. Like, I can barely stand. I got to go home. So I left the bar in the middle of the song, and I walked home, and the rhythm of it and the chord changes, or at least the key, was still in my head. And I started singing sort of my own song to it, and as I was out of earshot of his version of the song on my way home, it had transformed into something of my own. And I'd also been listening to a lot of Ink Spots at the time, and they have that song, When the Swallows Come Back to Capistrano, which has references to mission bells in it and stuff. So somehow me listening to a lot of Ink Spots got grafted onto my version of Rob's song, and that's Mission Bells. All right, let's see if I can play it now. So we snuck back in the churchyard after dark. There beneath the silent stars, we drank white wine from mason jars. You told me that you had 100 ways to break my heart. We picked the lock and I opened up the door, and we laid a blanket down upon the floor. So much you didn't choose when you took what I could not refuse, but how I wanted what you wouldn't give until I'd heard some more. Now can you hear the church choir sing as it's mixing with the mission bell ringing a long way off? Well, I remember how I miss your touch, miss your kiss, I miss so much about you. Miss almost everything about you. A little of my innocence to you. So when you took the rest, it felt like deja vu. I thought I could hold fast to faith and grace and hope and chastity, but you wanted every little bit of that last virtue too. Well, now can you hear the church choir sing as it's mixing with the mission bell ringing a long way off? Well, I remember how I miss your touch, I miss your kiss, I miss so much about you. I miss almost everything about you. Thought I knew what love was at the start, but you just knew the lies and played your part. All the sweet things we'd rehearsed and memorized them all in reverse. To prove that just I had 100 ways to break my heart. And all the sweet things we'd rehearsed and memorized them all in reverse. You proved that just I had 100 ways to break my heart. And you proved that just I had 100 ways to break my heart. And you proved that just I had 100 ways to break my heart. That was Mission Bells. So, just gonna do one more tune. I'm gonna do what's it called? It's an Ink Spot song, the one I was mentioning, where I had the word Mission Bells stuck in my head. If anyone doesn't know the Ink Spots, you should check them out. They're amazing, like vocal group from I think maybe the late 30s and early 40s, something like that. Don't quote me, but and this is a song of theirs, and the funny thing is, if you get like a compilation or a greatest hits kind of record of theirs, it's like probably half the songs will start with the Happy Trails part, which I find so endearing that that they were totally cool with all their songs beginning in exactly the same manner. When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day you promised you'll come back to me. When you whisper farewell in Capistrano, that's the day the swallows flew out to the sea. Oh, the mission bells will ring, the chapel choirs will sing, the happiness you bring will live in my memory. When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day I pray that you come back to me. That's the day I pray that you come back to me. Oh, the mission bells will ring, the chapel choirs will sing, the happiness you bring will live in my memory. When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day I pray that you come back to me. That's the day I pray that you come back to me. All right, that's going to do it for the songs today. If you've been watching, thank you so much for doing so and sticking around. One last little announcement is that I am giving away my CD, The Great Make Believer, which I've been playing the first side of today. And if you don't have a copy, please go to go.chrisraleigh.com, and I will send you one. Just help me cover the shipping and handling costs. And so Thursday I'll be back at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to play the second side and do some covers that kind of inform those songs, just like I was doing today. And if anyone has requests for future shows, let me know. I kind of save them up, and then I try to learn a bunch for like an all request episode. So definitely do that. All right, and then let me give you a chance to say goodbye to Flula. Flula the alpaca. Goodbye. Goodbye, people. Thank you for tuning in. It's very kind